Hey, welcome back to GFT Gaming. Today we're going to be doing a tough one called the Storied Sword. This game, if you like The Princess Bride and Ninja Gaiden, you're going to love this game. It's got some Princess Bride kind of themes in the first couple levels, which I thought was awesome. One of my favorite movies. One of the main characters you can play is kind of looks like the Man in Black. And then the first two bosses, you'll see. Anyway, this game is made by Nathan Tolbert. Jordan Davis did the some graphics and sound design. Auxiliary illustrations were done, looks like, by Steve Dayu. Sorry, I probably fucked that name up. And so you can get this on itch if you want the digital copy. If you want a physical NES cartridge, you can get it at bitethechili.com. Yeah. You can get it there, and all that'll be in the link. And I want to say you can probably get this on some other platforms, but I did not research that. But I think they did. I don't know. It's hard to remember everything that happens in forums and whatnot. Anyway, enough of me chatting. Let's play a game. Yeah. Like the Chili production. Raft Labs. Yeah, I forget the name, Raft Not, the game he did. You play as different band members. It was really, I liked it. Alright, so here's the thing. I suck at games. And as always, I like to play things on easy. Or at least normal. So I'm going to change it, because, yeah. The knockback, so there's a lot of bats on if you play it on the harder mode or normal, and the knockback's really bad. And I just kind of want to get through the game because it's more enjoyable that way. I've gotten most of the way through it on normal, but this is my third video I've recorded this morning, and it is 8 a.m. So I'm looking for something easy and enjoyable. So that's what we're doing. Right? Did I set it? Yes. Okay. The evil sorcerer Vectra, cursed to forget his one true love, sought to find a magic sword told to contain all the world's stories. He conquered the kingdom where it lay buried. Vectra's brigand unearthed the lost sword from beneath the old city. Two heroes rush to intercept before it reaches his citadel, and so begins the struggle for the storied sword. Meanwhile, at Vectra's floating citadel, that's a cool graphic. Man, I like that. Instruct my brigands to find the sword and bring it to me. I will use it to break the curse and remember the name of my one true love. The candle has been lit. Vectra seeks the sword and must be stopped. You've earned your funeral, Vectra. Your reign will be brief and painful. Cedric or Orchid? We're gonna go Orchid. I like Orchid. Each one has definitely different strengths. Like if you do... Like hers, it's definitely her swing can hit a lot more. And the nice thing is you can actually hit bullets. So that's cool. You can get some different items. You hit up and B. I think I would know what those are. Woo! And to do wall jumps. At first I was confused and like had a hard time with the wall jumps, but like I don't find them very difficult anymore after playing through the game. It's like any game. Like You know, you just gotta get used to the controls. And I think that's... I think a lot of games now, you don't play enough. Like, you might... Like, I might play through this game one more time. Like, will I keep playing it? I don't know. It's a really good game. But it's not like when you only own, you know, 3 games. And that's all you had to play. Or so you just got really good, and even if they were bad controls, you got really used to them. And the jumping is a little... I never did good. Yeah. Because you can't really control once you jump. And I am playing with a different controller. I'm playing with my normal controller I record with, which seems to be better. My downstairs controller. So I might not find the jumping as difficult as when I was playing it upstairs on my... Down here I have the AVS where I record, so it has... listen to these words before I feed you to my birds. I gave the sword to the lighthouse keep. To get to him, you'll have to go through me. Ah. I would say the levels are much harder than the boss fights. Right there, little rascal. As always, Rascal is here with me. I'm just gonna stand by. I'm gonna check the download. Just want to see if an upload finished. Not a download, an upload. Ah. Blasted. I'm going up there. Damn it. There we go. That's how you do that. So I think Cedric, if you play as Cedric, you definitely have... damn birds. Definitely like Ninja Gaiden there. Fucking eagles, man. Hate those things. That's a... I forgot how long it took me to beat Ninja Gaiden. I've only beaten the first one. Go up here. Cedric can actually take at least some spike hits where she cannot. So you always have like if you don't get like a power up, you will have like a knife, and hers loops back. Cedric's goes all the way to the other side of the screen, and hers though will go through barriers. So you don't know what that means. God damn it. That's where the jumping gets weird. You try and do a little jump, but you just jump too far. That's... yeah. Time out here. Do we have pause? No. Yeah, we do have pause. See, maybe I'm just used to other games too. Let's try and take the low road. And so, like, this is where, in normal, you'd have, like, bats coming across randomly to kick your ass and knock you off all these blocks, which isn't undoable by any means. It just takes a lot, and it, for me, I like the more... just a relaxing playthrough for the most part. Bastard. I do get in the habit of sometimes want to beat a game on hard mode, but sometimes that just takes so much time. These, I really like these type of spike tiles. I think that's super cool. Damn it. God darn it. Yeah, the jump, you don't have great control over the jump. That's my only... We'll see where it starts me. You chased the sword like fools. I gave it to Sadine, the brigand queen. If you wish to pursue her, you must first defeat me in a duel. So if you have her, like, basic boomerang weapon, that's... Even that fight is so easy because it goes past him and then hits him on a second time. Yeah. Meanwhile, at Vectra's floating citadel, instruct Sadine to bring the sword to the caves beyond the graveyard. The storied sword now delivered from the lighthouse keeper to Sadine, the brigand queen, is bound for the ancient caves. The savage creatures inside the caves have been sealed for centuries. If Vectra succeeds in reawakening the power of the sword, it will break the seal, releasing the cave's creatures to attack the village. To keep the villagers safe, our heroes descend into the darkness. They've taken the sword into the caves. We will need to be cautious. They know we'll hesitate to follow them down there. Dark magic is perilous. Yeah. Not a good start. Damn. I don't know what that does. wonder if I get a bigger... Ah, well, that sucked. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's cool. So now, that gives me... I didn't realize that. If you ever need a challenge, make sure you have a cat sitting on your lap and arms while you play games. I'm just gonna sit back. Feel a little more. would definitely like to know how they got so many objects on that screen. That's pretty cool. Oh, sorry, Rascal. I woke Rascal up. I have delivered this sword to General Markgrave. Something. The odds are stacked against you. Barely got that one. Our heroes, disguised as prisoners, sneak into the fortress of the Old King. They seek to confront General Heartbreak in the throne room. He guards a portal that leads directly to Vectra's floating citadel. The rotting heap of muscle animated by Vectra's twisted enchantments, General Heartbreak commands Vectra's entire army from the throne of the usurped king. Beware his wicked sword. Alright, I wonder if that works. We need to find the portal, but the dungeons will be rigged with traps. I was once the princess of this castle. I know the path to the throne room. When we get there, we will meet Vector's elite guard. Let us be ready for them. This part's hard. Cedric is the way to go, I think. This level. Oh man, what was I doing? Ah. My mission is complete. The sword is beyond the portal with Vector. Now to collect your skulls. Damn it. Oh, I was close. With this sword, Vector will be unstoppable. Soon, nowhere will be safe from him. We must enter the portal to purge Vector from the coast and avenge the kingdom. The portal opens on the Citadel cliff. Assault on Vector's Citadel. Damn it. Damn it. You dare interrupt me in my study? This intrusion will not go unpunished. The sword is mine. You may not have it. Vector defeated, his citadel crumbles into the sea, carrying his body and the sword under the waves. Orchid, the lost princess, reclaims her throne from evil usurping sorcerer. Cedric returns to his anonymous life, protecting the villagers. Sunrise breaks and the curse is lifted. A new day begins. Vector's reign will not soon be forgotten. The end. Classic castle going and crumbling down. Alright. As I haven't beat on normal, I don't know if there is a better ending, but I like that ending. Overall, it's a really good game. Some of the jumping gets a little weird. It is a fun playthrough. I should definitely play this game. I forget how much it is, like $8 or $10 if you want the digital ROM. 100% worth it. Worth playing, getting the physical card, honestly. It's a really good game. Yeah, so check it out. Let me know what you guys think about it. Yeah, recommend some games for me to play. This one, I didn't play very well, but it is about 2 hours, so you get a lot of gameplay out of this. That was just on easy, so there you go. Sure, normal would take a lot longer, and I played this multiple times, so definitely got my money's worth out of it. Anyway, well, have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.